Hello everyone, welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. If you don't know me, my name is Anna, or Miv, or mivyard, and I make Sims videos on YouTube and I stream on Twitch. If you are not already and you like the video, make sure to subscribe. It would really help out the channel. Today we are going to be building a Generations style family home for a lot of Sims in preparation for the Infants update and the new pack Growing Together. I am so excited for both. I am really pleased with how this build turned out, so if you like it, make sure to let me know in the comments below and leave a like. And without further ado, let's get into the build. Alright, so here we are in Brindleton Bay. I am building on the lot that usually belongs to Brant and Brent. I unfortunately did have to evict them as I wanted to build here, and I'm more important. I'm so sorry to this man. But this build actually pushed me in a few different ways. So I actually looked at the link of the raw build footage. This build took me almost 9 hours to build on my Twitch stream this week and last week. 9 hours. Now, that is a lot. It's not the most abnormal for me, especially for a build of this size. I worked on this build for about 4 streams on Twitch, and I usually stream for 3 hours. And obviously there's some time in there where I'm not building, where I'm chatting, getting ready, stuff like that. So 9 hours of just building. That is bonkers. A lot of the time, especially when I'm not recording for a speed build, I will just kind of give up on houses that I build that are this size. So I'm pretty pleased with myself for being able to actually stick to this one and finishing it. I really love how it turned out. This house can actually fit 8 Sims in 2 different ways. So you could either have a family of 6 Sims, 4 kids, and 2 parents. And then you can have a cat and a dog, or 2 dogs or 2 cats or whatever. But there is actually an entire room for the pets in this house. But you could also play with grandparents living with your Sims. There is like an entire grandparents' bedroom upstairs, a double bedroom for adults. But if you want to play with pets, that can just serve as the guest bedroom, and it will work perfectly fine, because this house was so big, I had to furnish it for more than just 8 Sims strictly. So I included the pet room and the grandparents room, and if you want to remove one of those rooms or repurpose them, either the pet room or the grandparents room would be a perfect activity room. They're both in really nice locations. Or you could add more bedrooms if you want to give some of the kids their own personal room. I have all of the kids except for one sharing a room. So there's one kid's room downstairs, which is for like an older teen, and then there's sort of like teen, preteen room upstairs. This math is not mathing. I was wrong. I have 2 kids sharing a room, and then 2 kids who each have their own room. So both of the teens have their own room, and then the child and the toddler are sharing a room. And the kid and the toddler and the grandparents are actually sharing a bathroom. So that isn't the most ideal living situation, but there are plenty of bathrooms downstairs where you don't need them, so they can use those. I'm just imagining the elderly grandparents and the toddler trying to make their way downstairs to use the restroom. They have a shared bathroom, and it's big. It's just 4 Sims are sharing it, so it might get a little bit busy in the mornings is the only problem. However, I don't think you'll run into any issues. This house is huge. I really do love it. The style on the inside, of course, we are still on the exterior, which I actually built the shell minus the windows in 13 minutes flat live on stream. So I was really proud of that. I did that shell fast. You all probably know, I've mentioned this a few times, I'm trying to get faster at building The Sims so that I can get more Sims build videos out. I'm currently at about 1 a week, and I would love to be able to increase that to 2. It just, you can see, a big project like this takes me days. It takes me almost a week on stream to just finish it. So if the build content is coming out a little bit slowly, that is why. I also, having a build of this size and having a project like this also takes a long time to edit. I got up at like 8:30, 9 a.m. and I have been sat here editing except for taking an hour to eat lunch, and it is currently 2:49. So I have been here all day, and I'm only just now getting to recording my voiceover. I've spent that long cutting down the 9 hours of footage, which I think is understandable, but as you know, or you might not know if you're new, I just graduated college in December, so I am now transitioning to being a full-time content creator, which means lots more YouTube videos and TikTok and trying to diversify to other platforms besides streaming on Twitch 5 days a week. So that is currently what I'm focusing on. I'm trying to build up my content on other platforms. So that is why, if you do want to support me, an absolutely amazing way is watching this video. I'm currently working on getting this channel monetized, and we are a long way from there, and it will be a long road. But if you do want to help, just what I need is watch hours, and I need 500 more subscribers, which I expect to hit long before I hit the watch hour requirement. But the watch hour requirement is 4,000 watch hours in the last year, and I'm currently only at like 100. So watching my videos is genuinely the best way that you can help me on YouTube. So I really, really appreciate that you're here. Even if you walk away, like if you want to, I have a playlist of all of my videos that you can watch on repeat. That is like the #1 best way to help me. You can just mute the tab if you even want to and just enjoy the visuals and multitask and do something else. I would really genuinely appreciate it so much. I also, as I mentioned before, I stream 5 days a week on Twitch, mostly The Sims, almost completely The Sims. So make sure to check that out if you're interested. And I post on TikTok and on the YouTube Shorts quite often as well. I'm a little bit better about getting a couple of videos up there a week than getting one on my main channel page. It's just these videos take so long for me to make. I haven't quite gotten into the swing of how to do it quickly yet, I don't think. I'm definitely getting there. And I'm still learning all the shortcuts in editing. One thing that I do struggle with is I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to editing, and it definitely does not help these long speed builds with lots of footage when I'm trying to cut out like all of the dead space. It just is not practical. So I've definitely gotten a little bit better about that in the past couple months as I have started posting on YouTube again. By the way, thank you so much for 500 subscribers. I really appreciate it. It's really exciting seeing that number go up. So it has been really fun to hit 500 subs on here. I really do appreciate it. We're halfway to 1,000, which is super cool. I think 1,000 subs is my goal for the end of the year. So if you want to hit that subscribe button and help out the channel, I would appreciate it. When I went to film this, by the way, which you can see I'm using a face cam, which I usually don't in my speed builds, but I did a poll in my Discord to ask if people would prefer me use a face cam in my speed builds, and a few people said yes, so I decided I would give it a shot today. If you think this improves your enjoyment of the speed build, if you like it a lot more, if you think it's more engaging, please do let me know in the comments, because then I'll know to keep doing it. It is a bit of extra work since I have to put on my makeup. And it's just a bit extra work filming. Instead of just using the Premiere Pro built-in voiceover tool or filming on Audacity, I have to open up OBS and film a massive recording file. It's totally not a problem. I just don't want to go to that hassle if people don't like it. So if you do like it, make sure to let me know, and I will continue doing it for your viewing pleasure. But something I realized when I went to record this voiceover is that for the past 3 weeks, for the past month that I've lived here, I think this happened in OBS when I moved in to my new apartment, I somehow stretched my webcam. So I have been wide, like my face and my entire webcam has been a little bit wider than it should be. Somehow in my software, I got it stretched, and I have noticed that the angle was like a little unflattering, and I wasn't sure why. I've been fiddling with the angle like almost every time I open up OBS to go live. I just today realized that it's because it was stretched. I literally looked wider. So now looking at myself in OBS, looking at my webcam footage, my face looks so narrow. It's very strange. I really got used to looking at wide Miv, but normal Miv is back, and I am quite happy about it, because I was like really confused. It's like, why do I look so weird all of a sudden? Was my angle back in my apartment in New York really that much better? It was not the angle, dear viewers. It was me. I was the problem. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. You can see, though, we have gotten pretty good progress done in this build. You can see that pet room. I ended up cutting the footage of that since it was kind of a weird room. And this build is literally so long. And you know, maybe you want to sit through a build that's 45 minutes. Don't blame you. I would too. However, that would mean I have to sit here on camera for 45 minutes. And I think recording voiceovers for speed builds is one of my greatest weaknesses. Therefore, I decided to cut the room. But if you want to check out the room and see what it looks like, it will be in the screenshots, and also this build is on the gallery. My gallery ID is mivyard, just like here on YouTube. So if you want to see that room, and it looked really cute and fun, and I think it will be really functional. There are your little doggy doors, and there's a cat door into the room so your pets can enter. I think it's really cute that they have their own doors. And now we are getting into the preteen room is sort of what I'm calling it. I imagine this is not for a child, it's for a younger teen. If I could add one more life stage to The Sims, if we could get one more life stage after infants, which I don't think we will, my dream would be preteens. Because I think going from a kid to a teen is so weird. It's like you go from an 11-year-old to like a 17-year-old. I swear, teens in The Sims just act like young adults that are a little bit shorter. It's so bizarre to me, and it's like such a shock to be a kid one day and then to be a full-on teen the next. So I really wish we could have preteens so that we could explore that awkward phase a little bit better, and there was just a bit more of a smooth transition from childhood to teenhood. But this kid is very into sports, obviously. They are all about those gains. Good for them. I decided to use the yoga mat and the weights from the clutter kit, and also the sports on the floor. I believe that's from the base game. I really like this color scheme. I don't think I've done a color scheme like this, at least not recently. I have tried, in especially the bedrooms, to push my color schemes a little bit more in this build. Most of this build is kind of my style that I normally build in. Lots of very subdued pastels and creams and whites and neutrals with little pops of mint and of blue. That's like my safe style. That when I'm not trying to build super cutesy pastel, I want it to look a little bit more grown up. That's really what I gravitate towards. So that's what most of this build looked like. But in the bedrooms, I tried to push myself a little bit and get some more interesting color schemes. So I really love how that purple teen bedroom turned out that you saw when I built it downstairs. And I really like how this one turned out as well. I think they're both really cute and they have so much personality, and so does the bedroom for the kid and the toddler. I am so excited for you to see that. Something else that I'm really proud of in this build is the bathroom. But I did also have to cut some of that footage out just for length. But I tried to keep in the finished product of the bathrooms in the speed build so you could just see how cute they looked before I moved on to the next room. I used the bath and shower combo from Parenthood a lot. You can see it right here. I just think I really popped off with the color schemes in these bathrooms. If you want to check out this build on the gallery, you can look all through those color schemes, and maybe I'll give a little tour before the screenshots. I have a lot of trouble taking screenshots of bathrooms, and I'm kind of insecure about my screenshot abilities in general in this game. But I would be happy to show you around the build and kind of show you how the bathrooms turned out. I think they're really cute. I know that Dr. Ashley on YouTube has been doing bathroom builds a lot in her room builds. I think that would actually be really fun. I think it's to sort of challenge her to get better at building bathrooms. I think all of her bathrooms look amazing, and I kind of challenged myself to do that as well in this build. You know, when you have such a huge build, some of your bathrooms are really big, so you have to fill them with something interesting. You can't just leave them all boring and plain. So the bathrooms in this build definitely aren't samey. And you can see here, this is the child and toddler's room. I think it turned out so cute. I love this color scheme, and I think that rug sized up is just perfect. It's so cute. And then I use that giant toy bin from, it's either from Parenthood or Kids Room Stuff. I get those two packs mixed up all the time just because the styles go so well together. There are even, I believe there's a pair of matching bookcases where one of them is from Kids Room Stuff and then the other one was from Parenthood, which was released a couple of years later. So I think that's really interesting. I never realized those two bookcases were from different packs. It's wild to me. It's actually the same bookcase that I used in the downstairs of this build in the living room, if you're confused about what I'm talking about. But one version is a really wide bookcase and then one is super like thin. It's just one tile bookcase. But I was so surprised. Someone in my Twitch chat told me that they were from two different packs, and I was like, what? That's why I always get those two packs confused. They're legitimately so similar. I think it's really nice that they go so well together. I love Kids Room Stuff and Parenthood. They're some of my favorite packs to build with. It's just so good for family homes, which I love building. I find that some of the more grown-up items in The Sims 4 can be a little bit boring, isn't the right word, but boring. And I just really like using the adorable kid items. I think it's so fun. I think they're so fun. It's really fun to push myself. You can see in this room, I did go for my safe light blue and neutral color scheme. I do think this bedroom turned out really nice. This is the parents' bedroom, the main bedroom, the primary bedroom in the house, and I spent a long time cluttering up these two dressers. So each parent has their own dresser, and I cluttered them a lot. I never know how much of my cluttering footage I should leave in. So if you really, really like seeing a lot of alt place and cluttering and going back and forth between placements, let me know. I tend to cut out some of it just because it gets really repetitive and samey, and it takes me a long time, even when the footage is sped up. So just let me know what you think of that. The reason I keep some of it in is because I know when I'm watching a speed build, I love watching people clutter. I find it so relaxing, but for some reason when I'm editing my speed builds, I'm always like, oh, this cluttering footage is so boring. But if it's interesting to you, please let me know. Let me know for sure. And hopefully as I get better at recording speed builds, I could cut out less from my builds if you all don't mind longer videos. I know I prefer a bit longer of a video when I'm watching YouTube because I usually put on YouTube in the background and do something else like edit, for example. Today while I was editing, I actually started watching a new show on Netflix. I have been watching the live action Winx Club adaptation. Now, I absolutely loved Winx Club on 4Kids when I was growing up. I would always watch it. I actually learned about Winx Club through a toy set that I got at Big Lots. I got a set, like a dollhouse of Althea, and it came with a bunch of little tiny figures, almost Polly Pocket size, but smaller, of the characters. And I just loved that dollhouse. And then maybe the same year, a few months later, I honestly don't know how long it had been, but I had grown to love those toys. And then my cousin was like, hey, Anna, there's a show of those toys that you love. And so I became obsessed. I love the Winx Club so much. I love the cartoons, and I'm not sure about this adaptation. I think a lot of people didn't like it, but it doesn't have to be that good. It just has to entertain me while I'm editing. If you like it though, let me know. Let me know if I have anyone to talk to about it. It's not the worst. It's really different. It's like basically a completely different show. I feel like I need to rewatch the cartoon. I think that's what's calling to me. I wanted to be a Winx so bad. I would convince myself that I could transform. And then it wouldn't happen because I'm a human. Or that's what I want you to think. But I wanted to be a fairy so bad. And some of us can't be like Bloom. We're not fairies. We are people. It's incredibly disappointing. And that, dear viewers, is why I would like fairies to be added to The Sims 4. Please! They're like my favorite. They're my favorite kind of mythical creature, and they're the last ones that we don't have. So, Sims team, please, if you're watching that, add fairies to the game. Do it for me. For Miv. I'm asking you really nicely. By the way, I'm so sorry if my glasses are crooked. They're kind of just like that. These are really old frames. I have ADHD. I've been meaning to get new frames for probably 2, 3, 4 years, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Recently, I've gotten quite close. I have a new prescription for my lenses. I just need to get my pupillary distance or something so that Warby Parker can fulfill my order, and I've been procrastinating that for a couple weeks now. I'm really good at procrastinating. If you need any procrastinating tips, let me know. I'm trying to get better about procrastination, but I don't think about how I need to get my pupillary distance until I notice how my glasses are all crooked and messed up. And usually that's when I'm in the middle of doing something else, like this. This, of course, is the grandparents' bedroom. I decorated this for a grandma who is a writer, and grandpa is a gardener. That is my story for them. I haven't built or built. I haven't built any Sims. I haven't made any Sims to go in this house, but if you wanted to, feel free and tag me on the gallery. I checked the tag mivyard. So if you want to make a sim for this house, go right ahead. This is the upstairs living room and a little homework area. I think it ended up really cute. I love it. I actually used the 2 love seats from my first pet stuff, very sorry, to create a really small sectional that you'll see in the screenshots, I think, to go in that TV room area, and it fits so well. I absolutely love that love seat. It's so cute. It just is a shame that it comes from my first pet stuff. I love using long dining room tables to create homework tables for kids, though. I think it's so cute. I tried to clutter it up to give each spot a bit of personality, and I also have a snack box from the clutter kit right there so that kids can stock up on snacks. I don't know what I'm saying, but so that kids can eat when they're working, because sometimes, like earlier when I was editing this video all day, as I told you earlier, I was like, I need to do my voiceover soon, but I am so hungry that I need to break for lunch, or else all I will be thinking about is how I need to eat. So I broke for lunch, and now I'm back. And we are finally getting into the landscaping of this house. I really like the color scheme I went for with the landscaping, mostly yellow and pink flowers. I think it looks so cute. I am trying to get away from always using the white swatch of the blue hydrangea bush as my accent flower. It's definitely my go-to and my comfort foliage in The Sims, if you can have that. So I pushed myself a little bit with a different color scheme in this build, and I think it turned out so cute and so adorable. I really, really love how the flowers turned out. I think they're really nice, and something I've always actually wondered about is why do they give flowers in this game names based on color when they have multiple swatches? For example, the blue hydrangea bush has like 4 swatches. The red flowers bush has like 4 swatches. One of them is red, yes, but I always use them as white flowers or yellow flowers or blue flowers even. It makes no sense to me. I've always thought it was so funny. When I'm building, I'm like, yeah, I'm going in here with the white swatch of the red flowers. It's like, hello, Sims team, you've done a silly. Excuse you. I think it's really funny. You can see here, though, how huge this house is. And something about building big houses is that they're always going to be on a really big lot. And then, like, what do you do with all of the space around it? It's like I had so much yard to fill. Yard. My name is Mivyard. But I put a lot of trees. I'm kind of struggling to choose which tree to place right now. And they have a huge backyard that you'll see me start in a moment. But I think it turned out really nice. I don't think I struggle with backyards as much as front yards, because I'm always just like, what goes in a front yard? I feel like usually front yards are basically just plants and not really activities, but in a yard that's this size, you kind of have to put activities. So I went with a gardening area for the grandpa, of course, love you, Gramps. And I actually ended up filling them with some foliage, some that matches the landscaping in the yard. So maybe like grandpa grew all of the plants that are being used to landscape the yard. That could be really cute and nice. And of course we have a picnic table to sit by the gardening area and under the tree with the bird feeder, just a little chill hangout space in the front yard in case you need to get away from everyone in the backyard or inside the house. There are a lot of Sims here, so I wouldn't blame any Sim for needing some time alone. Here we are decorating the backyard. I did build the pool and a big old fence around the whole place, and they've got a bit of a fire pit, and now I'm kind of going in and landscaping. I cut out some of the landscaping just because it was a lot. I made a lot of little beds of flowers and stuff. So if you feel like you missed something, you did. I cut it out just because, you know, I could only talk at the camera for so long until I run out of things to say. I decided to do a built-in hot tub at this pool. I think it turned out really cute, and I feel like it's something that's kind of realistic. I've seen this in a lot of fancy residential pools. One of my friends growing up that lived down the street from me had a pool like this, and I thought it was the coolest thing, so I decided to include that in this build. And I think it is kind of nice to use that anniversary hot tub. It's a weird hot tub, but I feel like it works as a built-in hot tub to the pool sort of thing. It looks more structurally significant. So we are now just going in with some terrain paint. One thing that I always struggle with is making sure everything in the yard is reasonably connected, because if there was just no path to the garden area, that would be really weird. I feel like that wouldn't really happen in real life, or it might, but it would be super annoying. Actually, the other day I was walking by a house and I noticed that they had pavers like from their front yard like 80% of the way to their backyard. And then they just stopped, and you would have to walk in the grass. I feel like that's more annoying than not having any pavers at all, because it's like you get so close to not having to walk in the grass, and then you just have to step in the grass, and I don't think that's fair. We're going to go ahead and get into a quick tour of the build, and then we're going to head to the screenshots. So let's do this. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked the speed build, make sure to leave a comment telling me what you thought, like the video, and if you'd like to catch more of my content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Bye everybody!